Hi, my name is Anna. I'm a third year media studies student at UBC. Here at the UBC Ukrainian Student Union, I'm the president and VP Media. I came to Canada about 3 years ago from Ukraine, Mariupol. Ukraine is one of the beautiful countries. It is also one of the biggest countries in Europe. It has two seas, and where I was born there was beautiful and warm sea where my family used to go every summer, as well as there are lots of mountains. We also have very beautiful architecture, and it's a mix of European and it's a mix of very traditional architecture, so there is lots of to explore and find in Ukraine.
My name is Ksenia Yakovenko. I was born in Kharkiv in Ukraine, and I moved to Canada when I was 3 years old, so I've been here for 17 years now. I'm a third year student at UBC. I study kinesiology, and I'm the VP Events and Global Lounge Officer for the UBC Ukrainian Student Union this year. There's a lot of food involved in Ukrainian culture, and my mom taught me how to cook from a very young age, so kind of transfer that into my university years, and still cook at home sometimes when I have time. Lots of bright colors and national costumes, and when I was little I did Ukrainian dance too, so that was kind of a fun way to keep up some culture and remember it while I'm here in Canada. I also speak a little bit of Ukrainian as well, and we speak it at home, so I think that was the most powerful way we could have kept up the culture.
My name is Yulia. I was originally born in Kiev, Ukraine, and I grew up there until I was 9 years old. In 2012, I started university at UBC, and since then I've finished my bachelor's degree, and most recently I was studying in Germany for 2 years doing a master's degree. Ukraine is a very big part of me. I think it's really shaped a lot of who I am today. I really love the soul and positivity of the Ukrainian people and their resilience, and this is something I've felt I think even throughout my childhood. Ukrainian culture goes back very far back. The Kievan Rus, Kiev was standing before a lot of places, even like Moscow.
UBC Ukrainian Student Union is a student-led organization. It is a place where Ukrainian students can feel welcomed. We just founded this March 2022, so it is our goal is to promote Ukrainian community, Ukrainian culture, contemporary culture, and show how Ukraine is cool and authentic, as well as raise discussions about issues and concerns relevant to the Ukrainian community.
My name is Roman. I just finished my first year at UBC. I'm going into my second year. I'm originally from Lviv, Ukraine, which is a city in the western part of the country and has a title of the cultural capital of Ukraine. And I'm a vice president external at the UBC Ukrainian Student Union.
This Saturday we had our first official event, which was a fundraiser in support of Ukraine.
A bunch of different businesses donated some items to our auction, which we sold at an auction. We also bought some Ukrainian food that we sold separately. All of the funds went to the humanitarian aid in Ukraine for the soldiers and civilians in the eastern part of the country.
We had lots of traditional workshops, as well as we had contemporary music, and people could try out our food.
So it was really exciting to see a lot of friends and family, and we raised almost $3,000 I think, and we had food going, we had art workshops, we had some dancing going, Ukrainian music, so it was just fun to see everyone happy in such a sorrow time and kind of feel a little bit empowered and hopeful after the event, so I think that was my favorite part of it. But overall I think it was a success, and we're really looking forward to the next event.
So I think this event went really well. We had a really amazing team of workshop hosts, had a really amazing team of volunteers, people that have had experience in their art of embroidery or vinok making or pyesanki for a very long time. We also had a silent auction. We raised close to $3,000, which was really amazing. I think one thing that we've really realized is every little bit kind of helps and really adds up, and our cause is important because it's a GoFundMe account of a volunteer that was directly helping to purchase items that were directly needed from towns that were most in need, towns that were really like lacking basic humanitarian medical aid, towns where even NGO organizations weren't wanting to go to because it was too dangerous. This fundraiser was great, I think, because every dollar that was actually spent will go directly towards purchasing food or humanitarian or medical aid to those areas. I think the importance of having this event in the community is great because it allows us to share more about Ukrainian culture and tradition to people in Vancouver who may not have kind of encountered it before. And we hope that by reaching out to people throughout Vancouver, including UBC students and local community, we were able to really make it very accessible to people to attend to, and I think that's what would be great to do in the future with events like this. One of the reasons also to have the fundraiser in this format was also because we want to celebrate being Ukrainian, because right now this is our act of resilience, this is our act of celebration, and when someone really comes to your country and just says you don't deserve to exist, basically, it's very important for us to kind of be able to celebrate who we are. I really feel very passionate about being able to help in any way that I can. This war has completely turned around like my life and my understanding of my priorities, and I really want to make sure that I can do whatever I can to help. Even if things may not seem so big, I think things really add up in terms of donations and things like this.
So the Russian invasion started not this year. It started way back in 2014, and this is when I was still in Ukraine and I saw this war with my eyes. But right now we'll talk specifically about my city, which is Mariupol. Right now it's under Russian occupation, and it is one of the most damaged cities in the country, and I really miss my city, and I hope one day Ukrainian language and Ukrainian music can be spoken and played there once again.
The culture of Ukraine is very old, and it has long preceded many other European cultures. And the thing about it is that Russia has always tried to appropriate it. They claim their different traditions and their cuisine is what originated in Ukraine. And so it's important that people distinct it from what is actually Russian and Ukrainian, because when they appropriate the culture, it's harder to distinguish between the people. And when their media claim it's theirs, it's very hard for people abroad, especially in the Western countries, to distinct between different Eastern European nations.
It has affected me personally a lot, as well as a lot of my close friends and family, since I am from Kharkiv. It's like 30 kilometers away from the Russian border, and it's been pretty heavily invaded. I think one of the most powerful ways to help is definitely going onto GoFundMe and reading some personal stories, because reading some of the personal stories might help you get a grasp of what people here locally are what they're going through, maybe even connect with some of them. And all you have to do is just search up, help a family in Ukraine. And I think those connections and those stories are really going to give you a good grasp of what people are going through right now, if you are curious. Other than that, yeah, the UBC Ukrainian Student Union also has a lot of links on our socials to help out, so yeah.
Canada is a very diverse country, especially Vancouver, which is one of the biggest cities where everyone comes from around the world, and it's really nice to meet other cultures, get to know them, get to know other people. I have friends from multiple countries, be they Canadian citizens or not. So it's really awesome to get to know the world just by meeting some people in Vancouver. And this actually makes me feel welcome, and I believe I can do a lot here.
I want to kind of stress for people not to get used to the war, not to get used to these news, to continue to stand with Ukraine and support Ukraine. Ukrainians are fighting for their democracy, for their freedom, for their rights.
I think just like in this time of gloominess and sorrow and a lot of, hard times, I think we need to kind of stick together and stay hopeful and really form a community. So, if you're looking for people to connect with, definitely reach out to us, and we're always happy to meet new faces.
One of the best ways to support Ukraine is to donate directly to Ukrainian organizations or Ukrainian volunteers. From the past events, we have seen that such international ones like Red Cross and Amnesty have been doing the best work as they're supposed to be. There are lots of links and organizations you can find on our social media pages, or we can directly communicate with you and say what type of support you would like to provide to people, either humanitarian or help support the military, and etc. As for the future goals of our club is to popularize Ukrainian culture, contemporary culture. We'll hold lots of parties and also try to explore together our culture in small events, as well as collaborate with other clubs to support Ukraine all together.